Hello, Facebook friends, hello. Hello, Facebook friends, hello. I'm feeling real silly, so let's start the show. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh my gosh. Did you see that one coming on?
Yes. Your eyes kind of
Oh
crossed
my
a little
gosh.
bit.
I was trying not to sneeze there and do my song, and it didn't work. 1-0 Toronto. Uh-oh. Toronto's got a good team this year. They really, really do. They really do. Miss Christie's here. Say hi, Miss Christie. If you're touching it, puppy, don't put a... I already got sneezes. Please don't do that. Hey, Daryl, how are you? Oh, Barb says, bless you. Well, bless you as well. That's awesome, 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 awesome. You know what? I good day today, right? Fun. I got a lot of stuff done. I had to go do. I couldn't see it and heard it too. We could see it and hear it too. Okay, there you go. Got a lot of stuff done today. Had to run all my errands, and I was happy. I was able to put all my errands in a row and just make a loop, and then go back and get eggs. Because I went shopping, and I was like, okay, we need groceries, and I was like, okay, we need a loaf of bread, a stick of butter, and a carton of milk. Do you remember that from? Do you remember that from Sesame Street?
I remember that.
And so I went, okay, this is what we need, and I'm like, because the biggest thing that we, oh, my phone is falling. One of the things I forgot to do was plug my phone in, so now we have the phone inside of a bowl. Just to hold it upright. That's what we're doing. That's what I'm saying. I was in the middle of talking about something? Oh, so I was having an ADD moment. So I just had an ADD moment away from telling you about my ADD moment. So, attention deficit disorder. I went and I got groceries and that, and then I realized we were out of garlic, so I went to get garlic. Guess what? They're almost out of garlic everywhere because they get that particular garlic from Europe. So, the kind that we like, the pre-crushed stuff. So, anyways, that doesn't matter. Anything. 2-0 Leafs. Oh, I better stop talking. Well, if it's the first period, the Jets don't normally show up for the first period anyway. It's the second and third period and then overtime that they seem to be doing stuff in. Hey, Cheyenne, how are you? So I went and I got groceries, and I got all the groceries, and I was standing in line. I was right at the beginning of the line. I went, eggs. So I had to go back, because that's what you sent me to the store for, was eggs.
Yeah,
that was the number one thing.
Yeah.
Eggs.
What do you want me to get at the store, Christy?
Eggs. And then what? I get to there, and I got the checkout. She goes, "Oh, can you come to number 3?" I said, "I have to go to get eggs." She's like, "Oh, okay." So I went and got eggs. Oh, there you go. Kyle Connor just scored 2-1 Leafs. There we go.
I'm getting a play-by-play.
There we go. Hey, shoot. Hey, score!
You kind of look like you were going to sneeze again there.
I tried not to. I have a headache now. So here, we're going to read a couple of books. Let's read a really silly book. And then, what are you doing?
There's just a loose thread there.
Yeah, but they can't see it at the back. But he just looks, hey, what's this do on Tazz's head? You're not, ow. You have to be nice to me because I'm there.
I am nice.
I'm doing well, thank you. Are these my glasses? Okay. There was a cold lady who swallowed some snow.
It's a good one for today.
It is. It was cold today. Oh my gosh. C'est la beau. C'est la beau. C'est la beau. What does c'est la beau mean? Sail a boat? Does that mean that you get into a boat and you sail a boat? Sail a boat. Hey, Albert. What does sail a boat mean? Anyway, here's a book. We can start now because Yaz is here. Yaz, did you brush your teeth before you are doing this? Okay, here we go. There was an old lady who swallowed some... There was a cold lady who swallowed some snow.
There is a distinction between cold and old.
Yeah, well, you go see old...
And this book is hand,
yeah, it does. Yeah, this is by Lucille Colandro. Oh, she wrote all the other ones too, and illustrated by Jared Lee. And because it was a cold day today, we are reading this book. There was a cold lady who swallowed some snow. I don't know why she swallowed some snow. Perhaps you'll know. Oh, c'est la beau. It's a goal. That's not even close to what I thought I meant. Oh, c'est le beau equals it is beautiful. She didn't. She said she will later. Okay, make sure you brush your teeth. Yes, do you promise? Okay.
Should we stop and wait while she goes and brushes her teeth right now?
No, she'll brush her teeth after, she promised. There was an old lady who swallowed a pipe. She wasn't the type to gulp down a pipe.
That seems like it would hurt a little going down.
Well, maybe.
A lot of pokey bits on it.
I'm pretty sure it had maybe some
hot
fire.
bits.
She swallowed the pipe to warm her 10 toes that tickled and tingled from the layers of snow. Tickle, tickle, tingle, tingle. I don't know why she swallowed some snow. Perhaps you know. There was a cold lady who swallowed some coal. What was her goal when she gobbled the coal? There you go. That's how that. There was a cold lady who gobbled some coal. What was her goal when she gobbled some coal?
She might have been trying to whiten her teeth. I've heard people use charcoal to kind of try to whiten their teeth.
But charcoal's black.
Well, isn't coal black?
Well, coal, yeah, but coal, yeah, I'm just saying, you don't want to try to whiten your teeth with coal. That's like trying to paint something green with black. Doesn't, I don't know.
I think the black would be temporary.
Oh, maybe. She swallowed the coal to keep her pipes glow. She swallowed the pipe to warm her 10 toes that tickled and tingled from the layers of snow. I don't think you're supposed to eat coal. Don't eat coal. I don't know why she swallowed some snow. Perhaps you'll know. Am I getting the picture? Doodly-doodly-doodly-doo. There was a cold lady who swallowed a hat. Imagine that, a black-brimmed hat. I don't want it. I'm not going to let her to my house. She'll be going to my office and she'll eat my hats, and I'll go, "How you doing?" She'll be like, "Ugh."
Oh, with the little feather.
Yeah, the little feather would come out of her mouth. She swallowed the hat before she froze. She swallowed the coal to keep her pipes glow. She swallowed the pipe to warm her 10 toes that tickled and tingled from the layers of snow. I don't know why she swallowed the snow. Perhaps you know. Perhaps you know.
I don't know. But
I don't think there's. I don't think. I think there's no reason for them to do it. There was an old lady who swallowed a stick, a long brown branch. What a stick! What a pick! It says. Crunch, crunch, crunch. I don't think you want to.
A lot of fiber.
There's a lot of fiber.
That'll move things through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's branching out to other things to do that. How many did she eat, Chris? 1, 2, 3. Oh, dear.
Where's Barb?
Where's Barb? We need the groans.
Waiting for it.
Oh, don't be alarmed that she's not saying groan yet. Alarmed. She swallowed the stick to push down the snow. She swallowed the hat before she froze. She swallowed the coal to keep her pipes glow. She swallowed the pipe to warm her 10 toes that tickled and tingled in layers of snow. I don't know why she swallowed some snow. Perhaps you'll know. There, Barb's like, groan.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's all caps.
That's all caps.
Yeah.
That's it.
She really meant it this time, Tazzy.
Well, that's because she can't leave me alone.
You know, it takes a lot of, like, your abs to
I said a pun there.
So you're, like, it's an exercise program.
Yeah.
Groan! Like, you really have to do a kind of a crunch to, like, really groan.
Barb said, "Sorry, I fell asleep." While I was reading. That's awesome. That's kind of the whole idea here. There was a cold lady who swallowed a scarf. A long striped scarf. She tried not to barf. It says that. Oh, I don't want to nitpick. Knit because it's a scarf?
Uh-huh.
That's hilarious. Look at the raccoons like, even I wouldn't eat that lady. She tried not to barf when she swallowed a scarf. She swallowed the scarf because it was so cold. She swallowed the stick to push down the snow. She swallowed the hat before she froze. She swallowed the coal to keep the pipes glow. She swallowed the pipe to warm her 10 toes that tickled and tingled in layers of snow. And I don't know why she swallowed the snow. Perhaps you know.
I still don't know.
No. She just scarfed it down, though. Did you see that?
She did totally scarf it down.
She scarfed down the scarf. Oh, now this old lady had quite enough. So she thought she... Okay, this doesn't rhyme, so I guess that's what's throwing me out. Now this cold lady had quite enough. So she thought and she thought, and she came up with a plan. She thought and she thought, she came up with a plan. She hiccuped twice and popped, and out popped. Haha. Excuse me.
Oh boy.
A snowman. Oh, now that's talent.
He's dapper.
He's very dapper. I'm just trying to figure out how cold is her tummy?
Wearing his hat at a jaunty angle.
That's it. Well, there you go. She barfed a snowman, basically. She watched her cat going, hat, 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 and then out comes a Muppet, and then whatever. There you go. So there's a silly book. There was a cold lady who swallowed some snow.
That was pretty silly.
It was a very silly book.
Yeah.
Now let's get to a not so silly book.
I wouldn't recommend trying that.
Yeah, don't eat a hat.
No.
No, they're not very good. They're
leave you feeling a little uncomfortable, I think.
I would think so too. My tummy would be like, I don't want this very much. This book was lent to us by Shay and Les Robinson. This is the last book that they lent us. So this is a book called The Range Eternal. And I'm going to give the sweater to Miss Christie there. Oh, look, it's still The Range Eternal. And I'll try not to bend that up. That's why I take it off. And these are by Louise Erdrich, and it's paintings by Steve Johnson and Lou Francher. This book was... Oh, I forgot to tell you about this book. Sorry. The Cold Lady book was Scholastic book, and it was written in 2003. So this book, The Range Eternal, is from Hyperion Books for Children, and it is from 2002. So technically, I probably should have read this one first. So here we go. This book looks a lot more serious, actually. On cold winter's days in Turtle Mountains, I help Mama cook some soup from our wood stove. The Range Eternal. Bones went into the pot for flavor, and then potatoes and carrots. As I cut the onions, I held a kitchen match between my teeth. I still don't know why, but the match stopped my tears. No two soups were ever the same. They were different. Right before we ate soup, Mama took the bones out and gave them to a grateful Rex. I almost said grateful T-Rex. I wonder if this is about Turtle Mountains here in Manitoba, maybe.
It says that the author is from the Turtle Mountain Band of Ojibwa.
Ojibwe?
And it says Ojibwa.
Okay, Ojibwa. Okay.
And lives in Minnesota with her 4 daughters.
Oh, very cool. Rex chewed his bones beside the stove, the warm heart of the house. After the soup, my brothers chopped wood and hauled it into the deep, big wood box beside the door. Mama didn't think twice. Later that evening, as she reached for a split log with one hand, she stirred with the other and kept the fire going. When I came inside from doing my barn chores in the early dark, I stood by the mica window and watched the flames dance. My cheeks went hot, my hands and feet thawed and prickled until they hurt, and finally I stopped shivering. The Range Eternal is the name of the... That's...
Of that type of stove.
I think it's the... Yeah, well, I think we'll find out at the end, I think, actually. What lovely paintings. Yeah, The Range Eternal. Yeah. It says right there, Range Eternal. The Range Eternal. Oh, it's... well, here we go. Hey, Taz Stewart, how are you, pal? It's good to see you. Sending you hugs, man. The Range Eternal was printed in raised lettering on the blue enamel of the door. I learned to write by tracing those letters in the air. I copied them down with charcoal in the margins of my daddy's newspaper. I tried to teach Rex, but he rolled away, comfortable in the heat, and began to snore. At night, I pulled my cot away from the wall and slept facing the fire as it died down behind the glass. Mama wrapped a hot stone in wool and put it into my bed. I press my feet against the fading warmth. When I was tucked into the stillness, I was sometimes afraid. Huge winds beat upon our walls. In the thick breath of storms, I heard the footsteps of the Wendigo, the ice monster. At the window, at the door, Wendigo waited. Whenever my eyes closed, I was sure it drew near. The stove was a constant, saving me. The monster's snow fingers could not grasp through the heat. Those wind claws and ice teeth would melt away before I would be hurt. As the shadows pulled the light across the ceilings and walls, I crept closer and closer to the stove. Safe. I looked through its door into the pictures of long ago. Wow, what a beautiful story. I saw the range of buffalo, who once covered the plains of North Dakota so thickly that they grazed from horizon to horizon. I ran the deer range. I ran the bear range. I galloped the range of horses. I lopped with the wolf range and fox range and the range of the badger. I flew the sky, the range of the herons, cranes, hawks, and eagles. I saw the range eternal. Oh, what a nice turn of words that was.
Do you guys see all the animals up in the clouds?
Oh, there's the buffalo and the up in here. Ish. That's beautiful. When I woke, the stove's heat was gone. Cold flowed into the blue air of the room. The breath of my sister and the rollaway was a feather standing above her lips. I curled fiercely into myself and waited as Daddy got up, ready for his day in the next room. When at last I heard the thump of boots going on to his feet, I knew it wasn't long before the gray coals would blossom hot and red. Outside, Rex whined and hit the door with his front paws. He was no Wendigo. Daddy's shoulders rose over the stove as he fed strips of birch bark to the bottom of the firebox. He was no monster. He wouldn't melt. It is beautiful artwork, isn't it? That's what Barb was just saying. The bark burst into light. I heard the kindling he had added start to snap before he carefully placed 2 split logs on the hot flames and closed the door. Before he went outside, Daddy opened the stove vents all the way, and the logs caught fire. The roar of the heat was loud as wind, but warm. The night's fears seemed small. It wouldn't take long for the heat to flow around us. By the time we got out of bed, Mama was standing at the stove. With one hand she stirred the oatmeal smooth. The other sure hand reached for the salt, sugar, and sometimes raisins. My favorite jam was made from June berries, dark with the summer rain. As I stirred the sweet purple into my oatmeal, I was glad to think of hot days coming. We wouldn't have to walk to school. But Mama always had potatoes baking in the ashes. On those winter mornings, she gave them to us before we trudged deep snow trails over 2 hills, down a little back road. We walked the new range, the Turtle Mountain Range, the range of woods and sloughs that we loved, and we were glad for the feel of those potatoes. Heavy in our pockets, they kept our hands cozy, and later that morning, when we ate them, we tasted the warmth once more. This is a lovely book.
It is.
And then, one year, poles and wires went up along the road to our house. Now we could touch a switch and the electric lights would pop on. Mama put away the wick lamps that burned kerosene. A new stove came into the winding road, chained to the bed of a truck. Now we could turn a knob and the heat would flow through the heat would flow through the coiled burner. We hauled the old stove out into the yard. A crow landed on the hood, pecked at the shiny metal trim. Our dog Rex sat for an hour in its shade. On the back of the same truck, Daddy and my big brothers and sister loaded the Range Eternal. When the truck went down the road, the stove was still gleaming from Mama's polishing cloths. The fittings glittered in the sun, and the crow followed, curious, until at last the truck disappeared over the hill.
Kind of a melancholy moment.
Yeah. All summer, we were glad to have a stove that did not heat the entire house every time Mama made bread. But when winter came, we missed the old Range Eternal. Even though now we had a little furnace to keep us warm, there were no hot flames. No ash-baked potatoes, no center to the kitchen, no warm stones for my feet at night. Even under my blankets, I shivered, and the Wendigo came near. Sometimes, in the freezing dark, I woke to feel its laughing breath. I had to tell myself that it was I was imagining too much. I had to close my heart over my fear. I breathed under my covers. I put my hands across my ears, my eyes, and I fell asleep. And as I slept, I got older. I grew up. I grew up.
Technology can be a mixed blessing.
Yeah. I am a woman now, married with my own job, a kitchen to come home to, and a stove where I can stand with my son stirring a soup pot. All seems complete, yet there are times when I feel something is missing. My son cries out in his dreams in the deep of night. The wind breaks against the window, and I long for the center of true warmth. It is not until I passed the broad window of a store that sold old things that I knew what I missed. The Range Eternal. The Range Eternal. Now, I sit by my stove on the cold winter afternoons, sometimes as dusk lowers. I do not switch on the lights. I watch the flames pull shadows down the walls. I teach my son to enter the pictures the way I used to. Even here in the city, I show my husband and son how the animals race back and forth across the walls to the horizon. Deep beneath the darkening sky, I keep the fire going. Together, we see the old range, the vast range, the living range restored. I keep the Range Eternal. The author's note. I have dim memories of the stove, the Range Eternal, from early visits to my grandparents' house on the Turtle Mountain Reservation in North Dakota. My mother always spoke of the stove pictured above with such affection, and many times regretted that after all the warmth it gave, the old stove was lost. I have tried to return some of the old warmth to her in this book. What a lovely book.
So she was talking about the Turtle Mountains that we are familiar with, because the Turtle Mountains
Range.
Yeah, it spans the border.
Okay.
It's partly in Manitoba and partly in North Dakota.
Partly in North Dakota?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I read somewhere that the longest word in many of the native First Nations language is stove. It's one of the longest words that means, the keeper of warmth, and it's just a big long. What a great story. Jasminka won't grow up soon, I hope. I hope she doesn't grow up soon, because then I'll be the only 5-year-old on the block. What a lovely story. Right? It just was it was just a lovely story. So we're going to have to add that to the books to buy, I think, because this one was lent to us by Shay Robinson. So thank you, Shay Robinson, and thank you very much, Les, as well. The other book that we got, Timeless Dave and Sam from my Timeless Painted, they were the ones that picked us that book up, so that's very lovely. I don't have much... So I get the hiccups. I don't have much more to talk about tonight, but it was a cold day, but it was nice to stay warm with some laughter of a new friend and talking on the phone and things like that. Hey, it's a good day. It was a lovely day. So please, today was Blue Monday. So they say that today was supposed to be the most depressive day of the entire year. So if you're depressed, and and that, please reach out to somebody and tell them how you're feeling. Don't ever be afraid of your emotions, please. Please don't ever be afraid of your emotions. Please share them. We always we haven't said this for a long time, but remember that all your emotions are valid. Every emotion that you have is one that you have, and it's valid, and it's important, and you need to identify that you're having it, because it's okay to be mad, it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to be frustrated at the situation. Frustration. But remember to ABK. Always be kind. Always be kind. Always be kind. I promise myself to try to always be kind. And I say try because sometimes we react with our mouth before we react with our heart, or sometimes we react with our anger before we have a chance to take a breath. And if that happens, remember that's okay, because you're not perfect. You're not meant to be perfect, because in this world, we say this: in all that you say and all that you do, you never have to be perfect. You've just got to be you. So you be you, and I'll be me. And Miss Christie, right, Miss Christie, is going to get me a puppy.
No.
And maybe.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Puppy.
No.
Puppy. Puppy.
No.
Puppy. Puppy. If you had a puppy, you wouldn't need any blankets.
Untrue.
Science.
No.
It's science.
Not science.
If you had a puppy, you wouldn't need a blanket, because the puppy would lay on your feet. And everybody knows, as long as your feet are warm, and then your head is warm, then you're going to be okay. You'll be warm.
I already have a cat who lays on my feet.
You have a cat
and another one who lays on my head.
We need.
Get cold.
You get cold because they're not puppies. I didn't say cats. Cats suck the warmth out of you. That's what they do. That's science. If you looked at it, that is science. They do so. You Google cats sucking heat and life out of people, and it's right there. It's right there.
That is not
it's
true.
100% true.
That is
Anyways,
not true.
It's true.
No.
Don't argue with me. I'm a scientist. Anyways,
definitely not.
Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. I'm a scientist. Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. May your dreams be cheery and your dreams be bright. Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. Hey, Pat. Good night, Facebook friends. Sleep tight. Sleep tight, Facebook friends. Sleep tight. May your dreams be so silly till the morning light. Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. Puppies are science.
No.
We're getting a puppy.
No.
She said maybe. Lots of love from Miss Christie and I. Oh, see? Even lots of love. If you go like that, what do you get? Puppy. Lots of love. Science.
Only
Science.
puppy you can have.